It's the last day of the week, and before we log off into the weekend, we're going to look into all the business and personal finance news here on Money Time at Money9. I'm your host Ajay, and we are going to begin this last episode of Money Time for the week with a statement. The Congress has delivered on to its promise. The Sukhwinder-led state government of Himachal Pradesh has brought back the old pension scheme for government employees. The Chief Minister has said that all the employees currently under the new pension scheme will be covered under the old pension scheme. The OPS was a major poll issue in the Himachal Pradesh elections. The Congress had promised to restore it if the party wins the assembly polls. And moving on now, we follow another update coming in from SEBI. SEBI has taken another step in favor of retail investors. The capital market regulator has allowed mutual fund houses to convert their active equity-linked savings schemes into passive schemes. Adding to that, investors will also get some time in between the conversion of the scheme into to redeem units without payment of exit load. Adding to that, they will not be required to pay exit load for a certain time period in between the process of conversion of the ELSS from active to a passive scheme. According to experts, this will allow investors to save a lot of money as fees levied on passive funds are quite low. Plus, investors will keep getting tax benefits under the Section 80C for contributions made to their new passive ELSS. Fund houses are also required to give all related information to investors well in advance regarding the conversion of the active ELSS to the passive ones. And up next, the country's leading IT services company WebPro has released the December quarterly results. The company has made a profit after tax, that is the PAT, of more than 3,000 crore rupees during the third quarter of the current financial year. Its PAT has increased by more than 2% on a year-on-year basis. Its revenue has also increased by 14% to be more than 23,000 crore rupees. Its board also approved a dividend of 1 rupee per share for shareholders. The record date will be Jan 25, 2023. The dividend will be paid on or before Feb 10. And after Alibaba dumped Paytm shares, US-based financial services company Morgan Stanley has picked up fresh stake in the fintech. Morgan Stanley has bought Paytm's shares at the rate of 534 rupees per share. The US-based hedge fund Gisalo Master Fund also picked up stake in the fintech via the open market deal. Paytm stock has plummeted almost 65% since it got listed in 2021. The stock had got listed at 1,950 rupees per share on the NSE back in 2021. On the news of Morgan Stanley picking up stake in the fintech, the counter was up more than 3% on Friday. Its stock closed at 559 rupees on the BSE. And the trouble mounts for debt-laden telecom Vodafone Idea. One of its vendors, the Indus Towers, has reportedly given a warning that if Vodafone does not clear past dues well in advance, then it may discontinue services with the telecom. This may impact the telecom's quality of connectivity, and as a result, citizens may face difficulty in using Vodafone's connection. The telecom is already losing customers repeatedly. Moving on now, NCLT has given its approval of the merger of the country's top two multiplex chains, PVR and Inox. Stock exchanges and PVR shareholders have already given their go-ahead to the merger. In March last year, PVR and its rival Inox Leisure has announced amalgamation. The corporate advisory firm Elara Capital had said in a report that the amalgamation will increase the profitability of the merged entity, while expenses will also reduce on Friday. Trade between India and China touched an all-time high of more than $135 billion in 2022. The trade between the two neighboring countries have increased more than 43% in 2022 on a year-on-year basis. New Delhi's trade deficit with Beijing crossed the $100 billion mark for the first time. In the last 1 year, India and China's trade has gone up by more than 8%. But the highlighting point is that India's export to China has increased in 2022, while the imports from China have fallen in the last 1 year. The government has made a lot of promises to reduce trade deficit with its neighbor, although this was reflected in the last year's figures as imports have fallen and exports have increased, although there was a long way to go to reduce dependence on Beijing. Citing a report by Inc42 Business Daily, Mint has stated that the ride-hailing company Ola might have handed pink slips to over 200 employees. Ola has said that these roles had become redundant and hence the retrenchment. Citing another report, the Business Daily Mint has stated that the Vodafone Group would also sack hundreds of employees as a part of cost-cutting measures. In the past, a slew of companies have let go of their employees to optimize costs, leading to a flurry of layoffs worldwide. Up next, the government is going to list NMDC Steel Limited on the stock exchanges. The firm is the steel manufacturing facility of India's largest iron ore producer, NMDC. The government holds more than 60% stake in the company. NSL is up for privatization, with the government looking to sell more than 50% stake along with the management control. NSL will be demerged from the parent company NSDL, after which it will get listed on the exchanges. For the first time, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India has specified identity standards for basmati rice. As per these standards, basmati rice shall possess natural fragrance. There should be no artificial coloring, polishing agents and artificial fragrances. These standards aim at protecting consumer interests, but the standards will come into force from August 1, 2023. Further, once companies start implementing the standards, the government will control moisture and amylose content, uric acid, etc. in basmati rice. And the last one on the cards, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari said that young people in the age group of 18 to 34-year-old are losing their lives due to road accidents in the country. The speed at which people are driving vehicles have increased because of improvement in road infrastructure. The Ministry of Heavy Industries Mahendranath Pandey lamented that while India has only 1% of the total overall vehicles plying on the roads all around the world, 11% of the total global deaths due to road accidents happen in India. Gadkari also said that India's transport industry has the potential to become #1 in the world in the coming 5 years. That's all for today here on Money Time at Money9. Stay tuned to Money9 English's YouTube channel and download the Money9 app. This is me, Ajay, signing off. See you again on Monday. Until then, take care and good night.